Hello everyone, my name is Luisa Navarro and today I'm going to be talking about the impacts of child sex trafficking in children and what keeps the industry going. To start off, sex trafficking is a modern term that was obtained from the protests of female activists in the 1980s during the second wave. Child trafficking is a significant public health problem and human rights violation affecting millions of children worldwide. Child trafficking is defined as the recruitment, transportation, transfer, and harboring or receipt of young people for the purpose of their exploitation. Globally, it is estimated that 20.9 million people are in situations of forced labor as a result of human trafficking, and that 5.5 million of these are children. Children make up an increasingly large share of the number of total victims of human trafficking and make up of 1/3 of all identified trafficked people. According to Shared Hope International, sex trafficking occurs when someone uses force, fraud, or coercion to cause a commercial sex act with an adult or causes a minor to commit a commercial sex act. These types of exploitations occur due to the serious demand in the market and the booming industry. The common age for a child to enter sex trafficking is 14 to 16 years of age. To elaborate, child sex trafficking can affect any gender, any religion, and people from any socioeconomic backgrounds. Human trafficking is believed to affect all countries throughout the world, and these can serve as places of origin, transit, and destination of trafficked individuals. Key socioeconomic drivers of human traffic include poverty and socioeconomic inequality. Children can become further vulnerable to exploitations due to illness or death of a family member or a separation from the family in the context of forced migration, natural disasters, and civil unrest. As seen on figure number 1, sex trafficking is thriving because buyer gains commercial sex acts from children. Money is a market fuel which results in negative impacts on the victim's psychological and physical well-being. Figure number 1 states that traffickers make $80,000 per victim annually, which is what keeps the market going. Victims of sex trafficking go through hard physical impacts due to the high amounts of work that they are put through. As shown in figure number 2, around 100,000 to 300,000 children are being used to sex trafficking in the U.S., and that's been since 2017. Other physical impacts include serious health risks like STDs, infertility, and other reproductive health complications. These physical impacts caused because they are being forced into commercial sex acts without any protection. There are also psychological impacts on the child victims of sex trafficking. They occur due to the following types of abuse: verbal, physical, sexual, and emotional abuse. Physical abuse occurs when a child does not want to comply. It includes hitting, slapping, burning, beating the victim, and many more things. The list goes on. Verbal abuse is used to denigrate the victim. Emotional abuse is exploiting the victim's self-esteem and or character. All of these types of abuse are used so that these children comply, but it hurts them psychologically as well as physically. Some of the psychological impacts include anxiety, depression, insecurity, fear, and trauma. It could lead to both long and short-term effects in the victim, including physical injuries, and it could sometimes lead to death. The events that the child victims of sex trafficking go through could lead these children to gain PTSD, venereal diseases, HIV, etc. Overall, money is the market fuel, and it is what's keeping the industry high in demand. Children of sex trafficking often experience physical and emotional and verbal abuse, which affect them psychologically as well as physically. That concludes my presentation.